Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make a rainwater collector out of a 2-liter bottle in an emergency situation in this video. In an emergency situation, how do you make a rainwater collector? Because so often, one of your biggest priorities is water. And finding containers for water can be quite challenging, but how do you collect that water in the first place? Because the nice thing about rain is it's pure. It doesn't require any purification, no boiling, no chemicals, nothing. But when you don't have a container and you find some trash, there is a way to do it. So if you find a whole 2 liter of soda, you're probably okay, because that's some meaningless calories, but you simply need an empty 2-liter bottle. And I'm going to compare it against this one that I've already hacked up, and I'm going to show you how to prepare this 2-liter bottle. That way you can create an emergency rainwater collector for survival. Of course, I'm in the Pacific Northwest, as you'll see in a moment, and it's raining, and I'm going to put both containers outside to compare them. So what you do with your 2-liter bottle is you get your handy dandy knife out, or whatever cutting instrument you have. You're going to get rid of the plastic cover here. You'll simply dispatch that, because that really won't help you out. And then you're going to hack the 2-liter bottle like this. Now note, 2-liter plastic is actually quite tough. Now, the trick is it's all about surface area, and the more surface area you can create, the better off you'll be. So all you do is you simply, without hacking your hand open, cut it as straight as possible. Now doing this with a knife is not that easy. And you want to cut down to the seam or the weld on the 2-liter bottle. And what we're going to do is create several petals, if you will, of leaves, and try and cut straight. This is not as easy as it looks. If I had a pair of scissors, or I do have a pair of scissors, but I'm showing you the survival experience, then you can do this. And what we're going to do is just cut this way down here, and we'll cut one more petal, hopefully. Okay, do that. Okay, now that we've got this all hacked apart, all you're going to do is simply fold these petals out, and ideally they would create a little bit of a flower effect. But one of the problems is this plastic tends to want to bounce back. So to make this work more effectively, what you can do is you can crease it, and that works pretty well. So if you fold it down to the weld and you crease it, fold it down there, crease it, and that's why you have to make multiple petals. And the key to rainwater collection is surface area. The more surface area you have, the more effective your rainwater collection system will be. Okay, there you go. So if you do it down to the weld, this works pretty well. If you're struggling, having some trouble seeing the problems and dangers, it's starting to split there, so I might lose a little bit of water. The other way to do it is to fire this up and just gently heat the plastic. Just gently touch the plastic, just barely. And what that'll do is it'll permanently set the curve in that plastic. There we go. Cool. And now I have my huge rainwater collection that has like 1, 2, 3, 4, well, like 5, 6 times the capacity of this unit. And now what I'm going to do is take my super rain collector and kick just the bottom, just to give you an idea of how much more water this can collect. I'll make sure to shake them out. So there's, that's an honest start. I'm going to go outside and just set them in the lawn and let them begin collecting rain, because it's supposed to be raining for several more hours. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you just how much more effective this technique really is. And as you can see, it's raining outside in the Pacific Northwest, so I'm going to simply crease these guys just a little bit. It's not perfect, but I'm just going to go out in the lawn, get rained on here, and place one unit in the grass. I want to bury it as much as possible, so if the wind comes up, and then I'll take my other one and place it right beside. So that's as good as it can get. And I'm literally going to let those be out there for a few hours, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to show you how much more water the pedal collects compared to that, and show you just how effective a rainwater collector out of a 2-liter bottle can be for a survival situation. After 2.5 hours of rain collection, I can see just looking at the containers, there's a lot more rain in the flower petal design instead of the small container. So what I'm going to do is go grab them, bring it inside, and we'll quantifiably measure how much more water we collected with the different technique. All right, rainy and wet here. Soaked. There we go, let's check it out. Here we are with the containers of water that I've captured for 2.5 hours outside in the rainy Pacific Northwest. As you can see in this container, I'll show you here, I've got some water. That's actually not too bad, but carefully transport this so I don't mess up my measurement. Check how much water I captured in this. This is a lot more. So what I'm going to do is pour the water in 2 different containers and then measure it out and show you the value, and then talk about why I didn't use the cap side. All right, I don't want to spill my water, so I'll be extra careful. And what I will do is measure just the simple bottom of the 2-liter, which generated some water. It's not bad. There we go. And I collected about, looks like about 2 ounces of water. Not too bad, not too bad. 2 ounces of water there. Now this is going to be a little bit tougher to pour out just because of the shape. Hopefully I don't spill it all over and ruin my experiment. There we go. Oh no! Whoa, losing a little bit of my measurement. Not very scientific, sorry. Okay. Didn't say this was optimal, just that it could be done. Now, I lost some of my water here, so I'm going to try and collect it. Hopefully, scientifically, not really. Get a little bit more of the water in here, just to see how much more I collected. And now I have 8 ounces of water in this cup. A full 8 ounces instead of 2 ounces of water. There's no comparison. So by changing just how I shaped my water collection device, I increased my water capacity by 4 times. Now granted, my estimate of surface area is about 5 times, so really just by increasing my surface area roughly 4 times, and I spilled a little bit of water from this container to this container, I was able to collect an entire glass, 8 ounces of water, versus a paltry 2 ounces of a sip with pure rainwater, just by using this technique of flowering out a container. Now, you might have wondered why I didn't use the cap and then slice the 2-liter down and then put it outside, because I've tried this before in the lawn and I put the cap there and it kind of waggles around. But if you can put this into the dirt or some sand, it's actually a much better container. And then in your, your Nalgene or your canteen or whatever, then you can open this guy up and then pour it out much better than my technique of just pouring it out here and spilling some. But you get the idea that this was just designed for grass. This is much better in dirt and soil. So whichever way you go, typically in a survival situation, you're out in the dirt, you'll be able to use this as a little bit better container with a lid. Otherwise, for my illustration, there you go. So just by increasing the surface area, it looks like about 4 times, I was able to collect a substantial amount of water in 2.5 hours. You've seen the movies where people do that, totally worthless. I mean, this thing has 5 times the amount of water collecting capacity that your mouth does just based on surface area. See, if you lay there for 2.5 hours, you get like maybe a tiny bit of a squirt. This is 4 times bigger than your mouth. This is only 2 ounces. This is 4 times again as large. 8 ounces, a full cup of water. Huge difference there for your survival needs in a tough situation. My name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and professional adventurer. Please like and comment on the video, and if you found it helpful, subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy your adventures.